the lesson.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you had a joint with Proof from '02.
Yeah, Broken.
Yeah, and then when was the joint with Bugs?
The Bugs joint was like 97.
And did he end up passing away before Proof?
Yeah, he passed away in 98. Yeah, like May of 98.
Yeah, right. And do you like? I don't actually know how he passed away.
He got killed. He got murdered. We got this park just outside of downtown called Belle Isle. It's like an island you go onto, and it was kind of rowdy back in the day. You know what I mean? This is like when the weather just broke. It's hot, and there's a lot of rivalries between schools and shit. And he got into it was something to do with like a super soaker, like a squirt gun. He shot a girl with a squirt gun, and some motherfuckers killed him.
Shit.
Some real Detroit shit. Yeah.
And so that was late 90s.
Yeah.
And so he was an original member. He was an original member of D12.
Yep.
And then, so then in '02 you did the song with Proof.
Yeah.
And then in '06, Proof passed away.
2 months almost of the day after Dilla passed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then, so I guess like because I think in '06, that's when you've moved to the West Coast.
Dilla passed in February, Proof passed in April, and 2 months later I was in LA.
Now, I mean, do you remember when you got that phone call, first of all, that Dilla passed away? I mean, do you care to walk us through?
Yeah, so it was rough. I was in New York. Me and, who was I out there with? Wajid was DJing the Donuts release party at Joe's Pub. And Big Tone was living out there at that time. So I was out there. I was like, I'm going to come out for a few days. We go to this party. And went to the party. It was crazy. And the next morning was the actual release day for Donuts. So we went to Fat Beats, walk up the steps, chilled out for a minute, grabbed a couple copies, and walked down them steps. And as soon as my foot hit the concrete, my phone rang. It was YG, and he was just like, he just said he's gone. I was like, what? Like, what are you talking about? And his whole shit just got real urgent. And he was like, shoes, he's gone. Fuck. So yeah, me and Tone sat on that curb right in front of Fat Beats and cried for about an hour and a half. You know what I mean? And then I blew boogers all over New York that weekend, man. We just got this fucking drunk as shit. You know what I mean? Caught a flight from New York straight to LA. Went to the funeral. You know what I mean? It was wild. Got blackout drunk and ended up DJing the night of the funeral at the little repast they had. And that actually ended up being the reason I moved to LA, because Wajid had talked me into moving to New York. That was one of the reasons that I had went out there. But I fucking burnt that shit down that night. And we met up for lunch the next day, and he was like, man, I know we was talking about that New York shit, but I ain't never seen you do close to anything like you did that shit last night. They said I was like sobbing the whole time while I was DJing. I don't remember any of it. I was fucking drank so much Hennessy that night. Yeah, 2 months later, I was a member of the Los Angeles community. You know what I mean?
And I guess as someone who had, the privilege of, working with Dilla and having a friendship, obviously, beyond music, what are some of the, the fondest memories, I guess, whether they're funny moments or just...
Man, I'm just grateful to have been in the basement, man. You know what I mean? I seen him make a few joints. A lot of people will come over and like be all over his shoulder and like watching what he's doing, trying to get. I was just chilling. I was just soaking it in, just the energy. I'd be down there smoking. He didn't even used to smoke weed. I got Dilla smoking weed. Just go down there and smoke a whole bunch of weed and just listen to him create. And he would that's when I started making beats on actual machines as opposed to like 4-track shit. I go over there and pick a record out, find a sample, find some drums. He'd like chop all that shit up for me and just go to the titty bar And I just be in my Duke's basement making beats till 4 o'clock in the morning on Jay shit. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Right.
Absolutely.
So that's sort of like how you not learnt how to make beats, but sort of
Progression.
progressed.
Yeah, it's funny, man, because people always ask me, man. You know, you get the super fans like, man, what was he like, man? What was Dilla like? I'm like, man, it's like you got homies, right? Like, imagine one of your homies just made the best music in the world. That's what he was like. It's just one of the homies. You know what I mean? It's not like he's a deity or he's this god. Like his footsteps didn't glow in the dark. You know what I mean? Like, he was a regular dude that just fucking made the greatest music you ever heard in your life.
I heard he had a really strong work ethic.
Absolutely. All he did was fucking make beats. All he did was make beats and go to the strip club. That's all he would do.
I can't remember. I think it would have been in a doco, but someone was saying they went over to his crib and like he had like blisters.
Oh yeah, his fingers would be fucked up.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, if you look through, like, if you go online and just look through this, in more than a few pictures, fingers would be band-aided up. He just worked, no eating, no sleeping, just working.
And
he didn't even do shows, man. Like half of the Slum Village shows in Detroit, he wasn't even there. I'm busy, man. You know what I mean? Come get the beat, come get the tape for the show. I'm not coming tonight. I'm working. I'm inspired right now.
And so I think you said he passed away just before the release of Donuts.
No, Donuts came out on his birthday on February 7th.
Oh, okay.
And then he passed on February 10th.
Yeah, okay, so very close.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess, do you have a particular piece of Dilla work that, you know, kind of stands out for you personally?
Welcome to Detroit is my favorite. Just beginning to end. That's Dilla to me. It's funny, man, because that's my man. And I'm real specific with this shit. A lot of people got like fake beat tapes and shit. Like it's just a bunch of random beats. What was I gonna say? So rewind that. What was the statement? What was it?
So like I guess a piece of Dilla work that really stands out for you.
Yeah. Welcome to Detroit, because that's just him carrying the flag for us. You know what I mean? And yeah, that song, that album just represents the city. It represents that moment in time on how he was just kicking everybody's ass on them beats. Taking joints that all of us know, but you would never know that's what he fucking made that beat with. I remember when I finally found out that It's Like That was Papa Was a Rolling Stone, bass line chopped up. Like, come on, man. We've heard that. How many fucking times have you heard Papa Was a Rolling Stone? And for him to chop that shit up and make it like something you ain't never heard before, you know? Fucking amazing, man. And all them beats he making like 15 minutes.
Oh, for real?
It's done, yeah. First beat I ever saw him make was Get a Hold of Beats, Rhymes, and Life. He made that shit in like less than 10 minutes, and he was getting frustrated.
He made Get a Hold, Tribe Called Quest, in less than 10 minutes.
Absolutely.
That's one.
And he was getting pissed off that it was taking him so long. He's like, man, these fucking drums, I can't get these drums right.
Yeah, that's what that is. Yeah, I love that joint. That's like the third cut on Beat Rhymes and Life, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy. And, I mean, because I don't actually know how he passed away. Was it something like a health complication?
He had lupus, and he had like a really rare blood disease.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So did you kind of knew that it was coming?
No, he was sick. I went and saw him the year before. He was sick as fuck in the hospital. Like, and we hadn't talked in a minute. Cause we fell out for a minute. Cause I'm not a yes man. There was a lot of yes man in the music industry. People that just want to be around and shit. And I seen him, like, he would be frustrated with some shit that was going on, like on the business side of things, and somebody would just fuck around and just catch the brunt of that had nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? And he tried to pull that shit on me one day. I wasn't having it. I was ready to for him to come over the crib. We could roll around on the grass. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I went to see him in the hospital for like a week. He was mad frail, but sat in there just playing music, just talking shit. Yeah, and then he had gone on tour that fall to Europe in a wheelchair, like not looking good at all. But it seemed like that moment just kind of passed, and for some reason we were like appeased of our, you know, wondering what was wrong with him, and then he was gone. You know what I mean?
So did you guys get to?
Yeah,
sort of-
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
we sorted it.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, thank God.
The lesson.
27. Oh, yeah.